Hi everyone, I'm going to do a reading on the month of September. So quick side note, this is not really my main strength. Really, I enjoy working with people on deprogramming patterns and finding new energies to work on or replace them. One part of that is really good with programming from childhood, with family energy and karma. And I like doing that because I feel like there's a lot of spiritual development for not only this lifetime, but for you as a spirit in general. So that's what I enjoy most. But I'm attempting to put more videos up and interact in a way that's just easy. So I know that it's kind of more fun and entertaining. People are familiar with tarot cards and energy updates on months. And so, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just wanted to share that. And maybe as I do more of it, I'll shift my perspective or realize something. But yeah, so let's jump into it. All right, so I am going to just bring the Supreme Being in, let the Supreme Being give us a blessing during this reading, and that it benefits everyone that is listening and myself in our spiritual growth. Amen. All right, so for the month of September, and of course I work with colors if you don't already know. So the month of September is coming in at a sapphire blue color. And I'll go through the 7 auric layers of the energy fields for this month. So for the first layer, the survival space. Well, I see different things because there's different people on the planet, but I see some people that already are in abundant state and have been in an abundant state. I mean, if they reach that point, that's usually their path for ever. They already have that grounded. And so I see for this group of people, it's at a deep blue where as we're in the new earth, quote unquote, they will be easily tapping into like new doorways, new opportunities to express. It's really more about creativity as they're already set for their survival. I see little hard chunks of red energy, and this energy represents the people that are really kind of in effort, and I don't mean that in a bad way. That's everything is good. You know, we're working energy all the time for ourselves. So it's people that are either going to make it happen, or they just have to basically make it happen. And maybe they're not in a extremely easy place in their lives. So it is the people that have to get up, go out there, and make things happen. And so for this energy, I see that it is going to be annoying and difficult because it's not handed and it's different than it was in the past for your survival skills. But it's almost as if I see this group of people like they have to make a breakthrough, they have to make something work, and therefore they will. And that is growth. I see that turning almost to a green color because they will take a growth spiritually in finding that you know, even when they can't see or don't understand the outcome or that it's possible, there will be an outcome, and that will help these people grow in faith. The energy that is releasing, as I'm looking at this mostly as the collective, everybody on the earth, Well, it's some of what we have already seen. It's a gray color, and it's just simply the knowingness. It may not be a crystal clear shift or something that comes out of it right away, but it's the seeds that are already planted of people understanding the truth from a lie. As it's not anything new that there's many lies in the world and society and in so many ways. And I guess I could play with the word lies, like it's just belief systems. Um, but I see a lot of people see that they're not necessarily true at all for them. And so people are on that path. It's like a huge awakening on the world. And feel it looks like older people, you know, they'll kind of stay in their lane and they will not adjust, but that's okay because they're already at that point of their life where um, there's not enough, not a likely chance energy shift will change their path in any way or do much at this point, and that's fine. We will probably come in the next life with some of that information. So let's move to the emotional layer for the month of September. And this is coming in at a gold. And I actually see the majority, a lot of people, not everybody, but the majority of people getting deeper into their whatever relationship they're in or finding love. And it's almost like this crack open, like energetically in the colors. I see it like something opening, and it's where um, it's in that vulnerable of a little bit of transformation. There's or a shift in how things are done energetically for everybody, where there's like a vulnerability or a new space, and I see almost people deprived so much of a really genuine, caring relationship, and so many people want it that it's no longer invisible, and people find it or have it. Um, yeah, and always there's contrast with that. So if somebody's been waiting to get out of a relationship, this is probably the time that they will do it. That's at a white color. Any other foreign colors that are ready to release? Okay, so it's the energy of anger. And when I say release, it's like as you're listening to this and we consciously talk about it, energetically, we're in a conscious space. It's where it's a place of transformation. Even just by listening or talking about it consciously, it's already like a pre-paved, helpful support system. But it's the energy of anger. It's at black, and it's where reactive, like it's stuff that we've seen going on in the world where people are fighting back. So I don't see. Not a lot more, maybe maintain the steady amount of that, but I mean more for individual people in their daily lives of where, with the group stuff, referring to individuals where um, they've been exposed to it right in their face and had to focus on it. So there'll be either two choices. People will kind of use it as a transformation point. I still see it happening, like little interactions of anger or annoyance, just everyday stuff, people interacting. But people can take those little things as transformation. So people will either go ahead and realize that this is like a energy that just exists and somebody is kind of regurgitating and throwing at them, and therefore develop a little bit more intuitive skills or just some more mindfulness, um, or kind of stay stuck, I guess you could use an expression, in the dark or not really evolving. But I see the majority of people really want to, and so therefore they will. And then there's, you know, also the path of like engaging, like matching the energy and kind of being in that fighting energy. Even if it's for a good cause, you're still kind of matching the energy. And I see a lot of people, there are group agreements doing that, but a lot of people are just kind of individual on their own, in their own kind of smaller world, living day to day without a big, huge group agreement. I see they just kind of want to use it as a transformation point for this is your emotional centers. All right, let's move to the willpower and strength layer of September. This is coming in at a ruby red and a green. Looks more like the green is the color. It's where people have started. Actually, ironically, it's like maybe so many things seem difficult as like the gyms had closed and all these things, but it looks like overall the ability to find creative ways, whether it's going for a long walk or being in nature. Um, so it looks as if there was a step down, but really overall as a step up for people to have to discover and come up with new ways of operating, even just I see for the physical part of it for exercise. And that looks good. I see this is also represents the astral, the sleeping space. I see maybe sleep patterns will be a little bit disturbed. People will have a hard time with sleep. And it's because so much is going on in the earth. So especially when you go to sleep on the astral or when you're not, when you're in a little bit of an altered state, that's when group agreements like spiritually can come together or work energy a lot because your body can't handle it, so you'll do it that way. And this is always happening, but I see that in September I see a lot of black energy, like it's intense, so you might wake up feeling a little bit like going to bed and it's just a little bit intense because there's just so much unconscious energy all over that even if it's not a part of your world, energetically we're all connected. So when you go to sleep on the astral, there's different healing agreements going on that you're going to pick up on because you're on the earth. So that's what I see. Let's move to the next layer, which is another emotional layer for September. This is affinity and love energetic field, and this one is coming in at a red and a soft pink. So the pink color, well, more of kind of what I said, more dichotomy. The people that are already in healthy relationships or um, growing in their relationships will continue to do that. And the people that are really feeling isolated or alone, um, and again, it's no judgment because who knows overall what the highest good for you to grow as a spirit. So again, there's no judgment or jealousy. It may feel that way sometimes, but again, you don't know the big picture. If you see somebody like they look like their lives are better, you don't know the big picture, not just of this lifetime, but of many lifetimes and where steps were needed to grow. Or anyway, so we'll go back to this layer for this month of September. And the people that are isolated are kind of in a darker space, coming in a black color. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It feels bad. You won't like it, but it looks like you will just be driven to find an alternate route of healing or getting a healing or educating yourself or evolving yourself, whether that's finding a spiritual community, reading a book, turning on YouTube. It's just information that may seem like not a big deal, but it really can start to plant seeds to change your life. And I see people won't want to be patient, but they have to be, and that there is a shift here for everybody. I'm gonna take a quick look because I keep seeing this red energy and just see if anything comes up with that. Well, I see this red energy. It's almost over. I'm kind of looking at this like an earth, like the whole earth and the energetic field, and representing especially this month. And I see this energy, this red energy, as a control energy, as much of what we already talked about and what people know, but energetically when things start shifting, it's different. It's the energy of um, old belief patterns, and specifically it looks like people's families, their elders, their ancestors that almost really enforced these beliefs. Like it wasn't a choice. It's always a choice, but the energy or the way it was presented was like you have to take this belief. I see that hanging over on the upper left side of the earth. And this doesn't mean it's bad that I'm seeing it. It looks like it's good because it means it's more to the light. It's more, I mean, it's always been there, but it's more like, and people may be agitated and irritated or feel like they're jumping out of their skin. And it's because this energy is sitting right there. And again, we don't want to like push energy away that's resisting it, right? It's just all about becoming more aware because the energy's already been there this whole time. You maybe just were completely unconscious. You didn't feel it. When I used to teach yoga and people would start to really get back into their bodies or become aware of their bodies, and these were mostly people that weren't the ones that weren't athletes, like new students, would always be like, oh my God, why am I in so much pain now? Whereas before I wasn't. And it wasn't that they were never in pain or something wasn't going on with their bodies. They were just so kind of not in tune with their body or present that they didn't realize it. Now they are. So it seems bad, but it's really good. So let's keep moving. We'll go to the next layer field for the month of September on Earth. This is coming in at a blue and a purple. All right. So this is something I think the people that will be watching this will understand. It's where, so, it was made light of in the New Age world of where they kind of shifted it to referring to prayer, where it's like when you're really trying hard and like almost begging God or like really asking something in the vibration of lack, you're actually it's like a little kid asking their parent, right? And that's not how energy works. That's not how law of attraction works. You're actually reinforcing the problem or projecting the problem onto the person you're praying about, or yourself, versus being in the energy of receiving an answer. So that's where the New Age movement kind of went to, like affirmations or what is this teaching me question, or different perspectives or they'll just say align now, because when you're in alignment, you'll attract it. And so it's a little bit different frequency than prayer. And then I think of prayer sometimes as the, I guess, ego, but I don't refer to ego in a bad way, as sometimes it's taken, or the identity, or the part of us that is in the like we need our ego is attached to our survival, and we need things, well, we think we do. So that part of the communication with the world or manifesting, usually that energy doesn't produce result. But if you use that as a tool, and I can do a whole topic on this because this is something I found as a good tool, and if you use the information of what you need or what you desire, but then make yourself neutral enough to ask in it to, or visualize it in a higher way, then that's when it's productive. When it's in this like nice neutral, would it be nice, but it doesn't have to happen, demanding way. So let's go back to the topic with this layer on the earth for the month of September. Using that as a reference, I see that turned over to people working with spirit guides. And I see how people are aware, and this is always existed, but more mainstream, of spiritual way of living in the world, And I see people really wanting to connect with their guides or with spirit guides. And I don't say that's wrong, that's okay. But I see where there's the frequency or the energy is like a prayer, like when you need God to step in because something's wrong. And it's kind of almost lacking confidence in yourself. You can use outside forces, but you're stronger and more powerful. You have a body and you're a capable spirit. So let me try to get to saying this in a way that makes sense. So I see the energy of people really wanting to communicate with spirit, either to each other's spirits or with spirit guides or to a higher source. And it coming from a lack place, and it stays lackful, like it's this far off thing that can't be achieved, and they need it to be able to grow or to get things in life. That's not true. But you can communicate to spirit, but just kind of that perspective or attitude is not going to help you. So I see that's where the shift, it's like where people are growing energetically and intuitively and with their intuition, so that they will be able to start to open those doorways, or maybe not even say open them, maybe they're already open, but receive them in a present, conscious, grounded way that is not from their lack or kind of the part of you that's hurting, but more in the higher abundant way, like this is nice, and a more functional way, like a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship. I could go on so much. I hope that it made a little sense, or how I described it. But I see a step up in communication, people evolving with their communication. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's keep going, and moving to the clairvoyant layer on the earth, specifically for the month of September. This is coming in at a green color, green vibration. So I do see a little bit of the stuff of problems as far as how our system on earth works and how it interacts with the earth, and how it's not necessarily the healthiest way, and then it has an effect on humans too. And so I see the seeds planted, but it's not quite time. Like I see there's an answer, and humans will receive it and get the answer. It's not so much I see them digging forward, but it's like more like they'll become conscious enough to understand a new program or system for us to function on. But it's not time yet, but it's sitting there. And so that is a good thing. It's sitting there waiting for the moment for people to evolve enough, and it looks like that's happening and getting closer. The gap is closing. Also, I see relationships shifting because people are evolving through all the things that have been happening this year. It's like almost forcing people to, growing pains, get up and grow, whether they like it or not. And I see that people will be talking to people that maybe they normally weren't friends with because they were attached through different things, maybe even not so healthy things. So now they'll be attracted to somebody that maybe you thought was kind of dorky or not your type of person. But I see it in a good way. Like you'll gain information and grow from interacting with different types of people. And even relationships changing. For some reason it led up with doctors, like between patients, or there's like a more healthy, like I see you as equal instead of like you don't know because you're just normal person on the earth. Like we do know, everybody knows stuff. So I see a growth in that way of respecting that. And let's move to the last part of this reading, the outermost layer for the earth, representing the energy frequency for the month of September. This is coming in at a raspberry pink. And it's almost like a fire, but a good fire, but like an immersion, like a full color and brightness coming out of the dark is the way that I see it. It's like cracking open, kind of like lava. So I see it at a raspberry pink. And I do see a lot of questioning, like second questioning. Let me just check the timing of this. Excuse me. All right, so I do see a lot of second questioning and confusion. But again, that doesn't look bad. If you feel uncertain, that it doesn't necessarily look bad. It's annoying. I agree. I have the same experiences, but it looks like a good thing is because you're not functioning off of automatic programming that has just been experienced on the earth, in the air, and you walk by it and you pick it up, or especially from your family that they lived this energetic imprint, and then you just are not, like, it's almost when people just repeat the same stories over and over again and they don't really apply anymore. So I see a shift from that, where that is like you guys know too much, you've grown too much, you're just not satisfied with the illusion anymore. So it can't be the old way, yet you don't fully understand the new way, and that's okay. I like to try to compare this energy to being a gym person and having a specific routine that you've done every single day. Or if you have some type of practice, I practice yoga, but you have a certain routine or way of doing things, and then you drop that. And you still want to work out and you still want to participate, but it's like, what's the new system? and it's not bad. It'll happen organically, or different people will give you different opinions or ideas that maybe you weren't in the frequency to be able to even hear before. And it's a process of growth. It's a new thing. So that uncertainty is where you're going to kind of be wobbling back and forth. Like, I'm going to try to go back to my old patterns, old ways, but it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. It's like putting on old clothes or going back to an ex-partner that you outgrew, and it's like, well, the idea of it sounds great, but it doesn't. So that's a lot of what I see going on, and probably the main thing that you will experience. It's uncertainty and maybe feeling not that conscious, but overall, I see that as actually good. It's growing. It's better than reverted to the old patterns and replaying them out and then having the same scenario and outcome. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of a healing and just let that ground. You can support me, or just postulate you're doing one yourself by just hooking into whatever higher source or supreme being makes you feel safe and happy. And I'm just saying hello, and it's just to kind of soften it. It's, I'm not going to completely clear energy. It's a collective group agreement, but I'll just consciously say hello to it, just to kind of help with the support of easing, especially that control energy for the month of September. And maybe you can postulate you're doing it for yourself individually, and that's your growth. Because you don't have to do what the group is doing. It's good to be aware of it, so you can choose, am I matching this energy or not? But then you can kind of, just by focusing, redirect and be like, I don't want to go that way, and I want this to be easy and clear for me. And this is exactly like everything we've been talking about. So this type of thing, this little moment of intention setting, or postulating a good outcome, is the little tiny shift of where maybe you would have this month and go back to default energy or old ways, or let negative energy people influence you, to where there's a possibility, because you focused on it and said energetically hello to it, of a little bit more growth being the easier step than the default step. So good job. And we'll finish this up and be complete. And I'll just finish it by saying amen and thank you. And thank you for watching, if you are, because I actually just got my answer. I was a little bit resistant, as you saw in the beginning, to doing kind of, I guess I would say it's more something that I think people know will get people's attention. And um, yeah, so, and anyway, by doing it actually did serve me, and I saw how this could be a healing place, and it does make sense to look at this energy for the month. And it is a step up in growth and tools. So I just got the answer to my question and released a little resistance and grew myself. So thank you, and have a great month for the month of September at Sapphire.